All right. These were some flags that I was making for a craft fair I have coming up. Um, I found the idea somewhere on YouTube, and I decided to kind of make it my own. And this is my Magnavox. Ooh, let me turn off my autofocus. This is my Magnavox manual. Everybody needs one of these when they're crafting. Um, I've been using it to paint flowers and to practice. I watched this idea from Dawn over at Let's Make a Mess today, and I decided that on my flags, I want to make some of these flowers, but I don't know yet if I am confident enough to do it on the music paper. So see, I started off small, and then I got like colorful, and then I just started kind of getting bigger in my flowery weirdness here. So I don't know yet. I don't know yet how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to use Music Pages Boa Showa. So this is going to be my wipe-off book for today if I do any painting. I do have some paintbrushes that have to be rinsed. And I have this sponge, which is what I was using for I'm just trying to spread this out so it'll dry. I have this thing that I was using, and it used to be on a stick, but is no longer on a stick. So now it's just kind of like free floating. So you get paint all in your fingernails. So it's kind of a pain, especially since I just washed my legs, washed my hands because I had to put the baby to sleep. So, no, I did not wash my legs yet. That's later when I take a shower. So I'm just using this book to wipe. This is a sponge, and they hold in a lot of paint. Paint is valuable, so you just rub it all off in the pages. And my webcam thing is right in my face, all over the place here. All right. So I just have to rinse those out. I don't think I'm going to do any more flowers tonight because I did a ton of flowers in my Magnavox book. So these will be, I traced the rest of them out so I can cut them later with my Rambo knife because I don't know where my X-Acto knife went. Move my phone out of the way. I got paint on my new phone case last week. You just can't win. But luckily, the baby went right down. I did not hear her in there yelling at me. I mean, she does yell. She likes to yell. I mean, she is going to be a year old next week. Like, where on earth did the time go? Ugh. It's like a week ago I brought her home from the hospital. My girls, they're growing up too fast for me. I like to savor. At least I am fortunate enough to be able to stay home with them for now. And the jobs that we do have, they can be a part of. So, there's not very much that they're not a part of. So, we're together all day, every day, which is stressful too, but it's also like a blessing, because in a few years from now, they're not going to want anything to do with me. They're going to be out with friends and they'll be grown up. So I will enjoy it while I can. I spent way too long gluing papers to these recently for the die cut book that I'm making. And the reason why I spent all that time is, first of all, I can make cool mixed media things, right, to make them look cool, but also to reinforce the manila folders that I used to do these with. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but manila folders, newer ones anyway, are absolutely not what they used to be, which is like the case for everything, right? Nothing is the same quality. Like, I have some older manila folders, and I have some of those brown file folders, and the quality of those is so much better than these. So basically, I'm going to show you here what I am going to do. I have some Elmer's glue all, right? I bought a gallon of it, and I transferred it to a bottle of Dollar Tree glue that I bought. The Dollar Tree glue comes in 2 packs, and 2 bottles would have been fantastical, but one of the bottles leaked around the thread, so I could not get it to stick. I mean, I could not get it to not leak. I tried everything. So I thought that I would glue some of these down. These are die cut poop, really, you know. I can put them this way. I also have all of the pieces that I took out of these, and I have punches, right? I have paper punches that I bought. I own 2, except for border punches. I own more than 2 border punches, but the regular paper punches for shapes, I have 2 of them. So I punched to death all the shapes that I could muster. And, you know, I did flowers, and I got all kinds of goodies in here. So, you know, I've got circles, and I've got flowers. Circles and flowers. And I love these. I love the way these come out now. Although sometimes they don't come out at all, right? Look at all these pieces that did not come out. But that's okay. We'll use those shapes. So I thought that this one's pretty ripped up. That's a pretty rough shape, right? Not going to really reinforce anything or make it look all that pretty. So just take these and throw them out. I did go through my scrap box the other day too, and I got rid of a ton of scraps because I don't know why, but I kept like little pieces, edges of book pages that you cut. I don't know what I was thinking. None of these flower ones really came out all that good, so we'll toss these 2. For now, we'll just do circles because I think the circles look awesome. So I've got my pinky brush, and I've got my glue. I spared everybody the horrific boringness of this this part, because gluing all these pieces of book page down at the end, I just took whole book pages and like slapped them down on there because, I mean, there is only so much. It's fine if it's on a small page. Hello, Jennifer. I don't know that I've seen like numbers of people. I've seen like, you know, went up to 3 or 4 at one point, and now it looks like only 1. Looks like you're the only one in here for now, hanging out with me while I glue this mess. I thought maybe my chat wasn't working because it kept going, like I had like 2 people and then 3 people and then back down to 2 and then up to 3. I mean, I don't think I'm buffering or anything. It says I've got a good connection. Maybe I'm just boring tonight. I'm boring. You know, sorry. I don't do extreme crafting while I'm skydiving or something. Too boring for some people. Yeah, man, just me and you. We're gonna party. I watered down the Elmer's glue wall, which is nice because it lasts, you know, it stretches a little bit further. But I'm not used to the wateriness of it just coming out at 500 miles an hour. See, I like the way that looks. I like this. I like it. I like it. I like it. And you can use up your scraps. Literally every single scrap. This one is all metallic-y. Yeah, I bought the gallon of it too. And I watered it down because it was like really thick when I was gluing all of these little bitty book pages on. It was like really thick. So I was like, you know what? Just ain't gonna work. So I just put like maybe I got maybe like a quarter of a bottle of water. The rest of it glue. So it's like watered down just enough for what I need. But yeah, I bought a gallon on Amazon not that long ago. I knew major gluing events were going to be in my future. And I actually went through quite a bit of it doing this stupid project. This mind-numbing project. Because I just have to be complicated. Everything, I got to make everything into a big deal. Like I had taken over my whole kitchen table with this stuff, with all my scraps, my manila folders, you know, and they're all wide open, splayed out every place. Took over pretty much my whole kitchen table. Everybody's like, they had to like exist around my nightmare for a few days so that I could just get this done. Every chance I was sitting down, I was like, just glue. Just get the glue down. Such a mess. But it's you know, I think it'll look cool. You know, they say mixed media, you gotta add layers, right? Layers is what it's all about, man. Yeah, my dining room table is like a nightmare. I try not to. I try to keep everything contained to one room. Like I was watching someone's video and they were talking about how have stuff in their living room and in their dining room and in their kitchen, you know, their kitchen table. I'm like, how can you even exist? Your family must hate you. So I was eating in very limited space for a few days. Oh, just cutting all these little pieces off of here. This die cut book better be worth my time. I better be able to store every die cut ever invented in this book. Hello, Miss Kate. How are you on this lovely Wednesday? I'd say evening, but it's like afternoon where you are. You're like still living your day here while we're all relaxing on the East Coast. this is like bent the wrong way. Oh, I hear you there. We were in the car pretty much all day today, so I had two little kids in the car, but they did good. We're good. They do ride in the car pretty well. The baby starts to get kind of fed up, but nothing I can do about it, you know. But for the most part, they do pretty well. We had to go like an hour away to pick something up. I love the name Claire. What a beautiful name. You picked such a great name. I have a great aunt who's named Claire. And I always liked it. Oh, nice. You're hearing my words as I say them. It seems like the last couple live streams I did, the delay was like 20 years. It's like a 20-year delay between what I said and when it registered. My trash, I keep moving my trash can. It's like on the wrong side every time I need it. It's like, and then if I move it to this side, I'm not going to need it on this side anymore. It's just grueling. Let's see if I have any flower. See, the flower ones came out awful. Yeah, there's a thing on YouTube, like at the top, that shows the little camera, and it says upload a video or go live. And I just pick go live, and it walks you right through the stupid little things, you know, smile for a picture and all that stuff. What? Let me see. Where do you want it to stay?
The thing has the stuff in between.
This doesn't work on there anymore, honey. It's done. It's all done. Once you pull it off. You should, Kate. You should try it. It's a lot of fun. She is in with her dad. She's with metal detecting. They watch a guy on YouTube that does metal detecting. So she's like obsessed with it. So my husband has an old metal detector. And we've been going out, you know, and doing, I mean, this metal detector is old. It's from like the 60s. So we've been going out in our yard and we've been finding nails, rusty nails, and pieces of like fence posts and stuff, you know, because this is farmland. So we find all kinds of little farming implements buried in the ground. I'm using a webcam. What happened was I was using my phone, but when I record a video, my phone would only let me record like, you know, 15 minutes at a time, which was driving me nuts. So then I started live streaming on my phone, and it was going really slow, and I thought it was my phone. So I bought this webcam. It's like a Logitech 920, I think, or 930. And I streamed on that, and it's still, my internet was like really bad this summer for some reason. So I just stopped streaming altogether. I was like, you know, I guess live streaming is just not in the cards until I get better internet out here in the country. Well, then a couple months ago, when I first started streaming again, like I think it was last month, I tried it again, and I've buffered a couple times, but I don't think it's been too bad. I have a laptop, and that's another problem too. The laptop that I'm using this on is like 100 years old. If you are going to use your phone, you're not, and you have it above you, obviously, you're not going to be able to see the chat, obviously. So if you're going to use your phone, I would suggest getting like a tablet or another phone so you can watch the chat. Like if you watch Meridell Abrams, she has an old phone that she keeps next to her till when she live streams so she can check up on the chat. Yeah, my internet is horrible. Like I'm out here, we have like DSL. We have DSL and it is just, it's brutal. And my bill keeps going up every month. It goes up like 7 or 8 cents, just this little tiny insignificant amount every single month. And I know that I have signed up for 5 years at a certain rate and it's almost over that rate. So once it goes over that rate, I will be irate with these people. Yeah, that's a good idea. If you have cable internet, absolutely switch to a better router. This one I bought from the phone company. So this is their equipment and I own it technically. So they say. I've been told by other companies before that I've owned their routers and then they start charging me rent for them. But like my webcam was like, it was only like $30 from Amazon. So it was totally worth it. It was totally worth the $30. But I do have to say that some phones, and I've gotten a new phone since then, and I'll bet you the video quality on my phone is way better than the video quality on this webcam. Thanks, Kate. Actually, I saw somebody on, I can't take credit for the idea. I didn't see somebody do it on YouTube, but I saw it was like a background image and it looked like painted papers with white painted over it. And I was like, oh, I'll bet you if you used a baby wipe, it would look really cool, blended like that. Hello, Cheryl. To do white over a painted paper. But then I was like, well, I have all of those collage pages that I did, like those scrap pages from pieces of magazine image, and the picture's like really rich, the colors, I mean, are really rich because of the way that, I only used rich colored pictures. So in strips and just glued them onto another page. Hi, Kim. Thanks for hanging out tonight. But yeah, the whitewash idea is really good. But if you're going to do it on pages that you have glued, like scrap pages, serendipity papers, Franken pages, whatever you call them, if you're going to use those, just make sure the images are glued down, because I have like a bunch of little tails on all my pages now that look like crap, looks like total crap. Sorry, I should have prepared. I should have ripped these off first. All of these little bits. But I do like this cam, and one of the things I like about it is the microphone, because a lot of people get complaints about the microphones on their camera not being good enough, and they have to buy separate microphones. This microphone picks up every single sound within a 10-mile radius. I swear to God. I love, I mean, I do like this camera. I do. You know, if I was in it for like a super amazing image, I'd probably get a better camera, but to do what I'm doing with it and the fact that most people use this camera and I like all the videos that I see with people using this camera. It's like the I think it's a C920. I don't know. The number isn't right on it right here, but I could look up the software in a minute and see what it says. And because I have this ancient Windows laptop that I'm using, it has the video editor, the Windows, you know, movie maker that they had for a while. So I can edit my videos, but I haven't played too much with the editing thing. Like I was thinking about doing some videos where I can have music in the background because it's really hard when I'm in here at night. And, you know, this is Lil too, so she's in here with me. And she just wants to play, you know, and I'm trying to make a video. So if I did something where I had some music going, like some simple glue thing, you know, that I could just play music in the background and just do whatever. Yeah, I haven't really played around with it much, Kate, because it just, that stuff just like flusters me when I try and figure out how to edit something. And I tried to edit like on YouTube, and that was just terrible. Oh, I was like ready to slit my own throat. So I got to play around with it to figure out like how to speed some stuff up. And I figured out I've pretty much gotten down the part where I can cut things out. I just hate, you know, because I hate editing. Like that is the worst part. And I see some people with these videos that are just super duper edited. I'm like, it must have taken you all day to edit that video, you know? Yeah, Kim, it is non-existent, but I tried to add, you know, you can add musics to the background again, but you can only add one little snippet. That's it. You can't put it on loop, you know? So I tried it and I uploaded this video and there was like 3 minutes and 10 seconds of the song and then that was it. And then all you could hear was just everybody in my house yelling. So I had to delete the video. I was like, start over, you know? Yeah, I know. That's like that is where I get really just, but you know, if you want to have a successful YouTube channel, you really have to edit. You can't, some of these people who are like, oh, I'm just going to leave, you know, all of this super boring stuff in, like the part where I spend 40 hours fussy cutting images. Nobody wants to watch that. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to watch 100 days of you fussy cutting images, or nobody wanted to watch me glue all these little pieces of paper down. Just trust me when I say that. Nobody wanted to see it. It was a nightmare. It still is a nightmare. Look at me now. It's still a nightmare. I'm ripping it. You know, I'm using my Ghetto Elmer's glue. You know. There are good programs that you can download for editing. Like, I know that on a phone, the app called Filmora is really good. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I downloaded it only so that I can combine videos, and I really liked it for that. It was quick, it was easy, it didn't leave a stupid logo in the corner of the video, you know. But on a computer, if you want like a serious program, even Filmora, you have to pay for it. So yeah, like Adobe programs are great. When I had my Mac going, it had the iMovie, which is like, you know, a decent. I never played with it because I wasn't really doing videos when I had my other laptop. But from what I understand, it's a pretty good editing software. You know, and I'm going to get another Apple laptop just because everything I have is in Apple format. So I have to get another Apple laptop soon. And I'll do one more and then we'll try my idea. But newer Windows doesn't have this Windows Movie Maker, from what I understand, from what I'm hearing from people online. You have to get it separate. Although it might be free. I don't know. I don't know if it's free if you buy a new Windows. I mean, this laptop is from like 2010. So it is old and it is tired. I have done a lot of stuff on this laptop. It was like my job for a long time, and she is a tired old bird. You know, she's antique in laptop years now. So but yeah, Filmora was great when I was doing stuff on my phone. Filmora is a free app for your phone, but if you download it onto a computer, you have to pay for it. Because I tried it. I was like making videos with my good camera, you know, like my Canon, and it was going well. And I got the Filmora to edit so that I can combine the pieces of video that I made, and I couldn't with and I got so many free videos that I could do, and then they wanted to charge me like so much a year, which is another thing that's shady about these programs now. You can't just buy a program. They charge you, you know, monthly or yearly for it, you know. Remember, you should just buy a CD and that was it. I don't know of any programs that are like that anymore, for crying out loud. Everything is like monthly, you know. Yeah, that's what happened to my Apple. The video card went, and then so I call this technician place nearby, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, well, they pretty much stopped making those video cards, so it's $1,200 for a video card. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll jump right on that. Just kidding. You know, but the laptop was like performed perfectly except for when the video card went. You know, and for a while I could have it plugged into like a TV and it worked, but then it just went altogether. Then like it hardly even stays on. But I think that I can get all the stuff transferred from the hard drive, which I hope so, because I've got some really like precious videos of my kids, you know, on there, and I really need it. I really need that thing to live. It's gonna live. It's kind of scary. Like the first time I went live, my daughter, she was only, you know, maybe 5 or 6 months old. So I start going live and 2 or 3 people show up, and then all of a sudden she starts having a fit in the other room, and that's all you can hear is like, you know, screaming babies, which was so much fun. But luckily the people who were in the live chat were people who knew my situation. They're like, oh, I hear her in the background. So I had to bring her in and show her off to the YouTube world. And, you know, now she's a celebrity. You know, and it's hard. You know, it's hard when you're trying to go live and you have kids. I'm just lucky that my oldest is very well behaved, so she's in the other room hanging out with her dad right now, and she does pretty good when I'm on. She comes in, sometimes she'll talk a little bit, and that's about as far as it goes. She'd rather pretend to do her own videos than be on mine. Yeah, mine too, Kate. trying to. That's why I would like to do some videos where I can just craft and be on and, you know, record a video, but put music in the background so you don't hear it. I watched someone's video the other day and I'm like, oh, poor thing, because she must not have realized how to edit. So you can hear, she put music to it, but you can still hear all of the background noise too. So she must have had a cold or something, so she was sneezing nonstop. And she had a dog barking like right next to her. And there's all this music in the background too. I'm like, oh, you poor thing. But I didn't want to like comment, you know, because some people post really rude comments, and I'm sure she had gotten her fair share of rude comments, so I wasn't going to be rude. It's just inevitable, you know, unless you have a house that you are alone in and you don't have any animals or children or people around that put on TVs or whatever, it's going to be background noise, you know. These were like my less than desirable painted papers, so I figured that they'd be good for die cuts, and they were. They look really cool. They look really cool, like the little circles I cut out. They look great in small, concentrated amounts, as opposed to these big, ugly pages, you know. But yeah, going live is scary at first, but once you get used to it, and if you get a good crowd of people, like if you get people in there that are just complaining, I've been in some live streams where people are just like, thanks. This is a Tim Holtz die. Not a Tim Holtz, I'm sorry, a Sizzix die. One of the big dies. I needed circles for these little Christmas trees that I was going to make, but never ended up getting to over the holidays. But I can next year, and they'll look really cute. So I bought these, the circles, which I like. I like the circles. I wonder if my first page is done. Because what I was thinking was, if you take this page, right, and you have all this texture, and you have words, and you've got, you know, these circles. If I take this and I go over it, you know, I have die cuts that I could put on here, the ones I took out of all these pages so that I could use up my scraps. But if you took like a white or a pastel color and went over it, I wonder what it would look like. So we're going to I mean, you can imagine what it would look like, but I'm going to try it out. I'm going to put on a thin layer of white paint, right? So that I can see, you know, if you can still see through the paint, you know.
No, you don't touch it. There's some very important stuff in it.
And, you know, it can be bumpy, more texture, right? Because, see, I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not a mod in any, I mean, there's one that I'm a mod in, but it's not like I use the power because nobody ever goes in there, and everybody in there is a moderator. She sets everybody as a moderator, so, you know, all of her regulars are moderators. See, I think it would be easier if it was a little wet, maybe. Let's try it, right? Spray bottle, just spray. Melissa over at 70 Acre Studio. She goes live on Tuesday and Thursday nights. She does like a lot of collage stuff and all kinds of like mixed media type stuff. You know, simple things that anybody could do, really. And she has a group on Facebook that does a lot of swaps. You know, every month they have a swap. And I don't know. I've only been in Dawn's streams a few times. I don't think she streams all the time. But Melissa does. She streams every week. She streams 2 nights a week. She used to stream 3 nights, but she Dawn has, I don't remember how many moderators she had in hers, but I'm not like a moderator to the moderating capacity in anybody's live streams. Yeah, see, if you do this, if you like water this down, it stuff starts to show through, you know, and then you can kind of spread it out a little bit. Like when it comes to, I don't care. I don't care who's moderator on mine, so long as it's like somebody I know and somebody, you know, I'll make you girls moderators if that's what you want. Cheryl's a moderator because Cheryl was there the first time I had a troll. Remember Cheryl? Remember the day I became Facebook official and Facebook official and had a troll? Wasn't that such a fun day? I had a troll. Who would have thought my little, you know, my little crappy stream here. I got like 350 followers. I got a troll. What I want to do, see, I have 21 of these manila folders that are covered on both sides with some kind of paper, right? I have 21. Don't ask where I got 21 from. I originally had 30. Then I took out all my colored folders because I decided that these are what I'm going to use to make my pockets from. So now I just have to figure out my sizes for my pockets. And the styles I want, because I'm going to want pockets that have a little type of closure. I'll show you the clips I bought. If I can find them. I bought like little plastic clips. I don't know where they are. That so that I can clip it closed, you know. I can clip each pocket closed. But who knows what I did with them, right? They're probably gone forever. It's in my mess. I got a mess underneath my computer. They're here somewhere, I promise. But I just got to figure out the sizes I need. I mean, I could do some test runs of different styles that I want to do, right? Figure out what kind of pockets would work best for my die cuts. But, you know, another thing too is some die cuts I have massive amounts of. Like my shapes now, I got, you know, 40,000 of the same shapes. Look at all these Look at all these die cuts. Thanks, Kate. I had fun. Give the girls my love. Like, look at all these die cuts that I have made. Look at all these circles, like thousands of circles. So I need some pockets to be like deep. So I'm going to have to make them all gusseted, right? I'm going to have to think on this for a minute. I'm going to have to think. So we're going to do some non-thinking related stuff. Hey, look, paper. We'll have to glue some more pieces down while I think. So what is everybody working on? I'm sure I can guess already that Miss Jennifer and Miss Cheryl are gluing. I'll put money on those two projects. Hello, Petals and Dreams. Thank you for coming to hang out. I figured, Cheryl. I figured. I did some stuff in my giant glue book the other day. Actually, I did a lot. I spent like most of my Sunday doing that because we had an ice storm. So, you know, we're all just inside for the day. It was just kind of like a lazy Sunday. So I was like, well, I'm going to spend my day gluing. And I did. I did a lot of gluing. And I watched, you know, people's live streams on Sunday while I glued. And I fixed the rest of my signatures. Did you lose power, Cheryl? A lot of people around here. I didn't, but a lot of people around here lost power. A lot of people around here just got their power back within the last day or so. I thought we were going to lose power. Everybody back home is like, you guys in North Carolina had more snow than we did, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, I'm going to stick it right up their butts because they're expecting like 1.5 feet of snow this weekend. There, take that. Well, you see, Petals and Dreams, I'll tell you what I'm working on tonight. I'm working on, these are manila folders that I covered in scrap papers, right? Because I'm going to take these folders and I am going to make them into a book to store my die cuts. Like how you make a supply journal. Well, this is going to be a die cut journal. But I have to come up with an idea for my pockets, which I will also use manila material, not so scrappy looking. I have some manila folders that are in like very, very vibrant red, yellow, and blue. So, you know, the pockets are going to have to be gusseted, but I don't want them all to be the same size pocket. You know, I've got some that are like tiny little feathers. I'm going to want a pocket that's narrow and fits tiny feathers. I don't want, you know, this giant pocket to fit these itty bitty little feathers. So I have to pretty much go through my dies and figure out what I have and have room for, you know, dies that come in Happy Mail and you know, die cuts that come in Happy Mail and new dies that I'm going to get. I'm going to want to make it add-onable. That's awful, Cheryl. We had some branches come down. Fortunately, we didn't have any major damage, but you know, there was a lot of damage from that. You're very lucky that it didn't land on the house because you know, these insurance companies these days, they don't want to pay out. And you know, they come up with all these clauses after the fact, and Oh, well, we can't cover that if it's ice. We only cover it if it's rain, Oh, after dark, so it's scary besides, You have no clue what happened. See, like, some scraps I can't justify keeping. I don't know why I keep them. Like, these are ripped pieces. But I like keeping my my die cutouts. I like to keep them, even though, they take up space in my scrap box. Take up a space, so they work out well for stuff like this, Did any of your cars get damaged or anything, Cheryl? I will tell you one thing I've learned with the Elmer's Glue All that is probably helpful to some of you who have stickiness problems like Mod Podge. I can't find a medium that doesn't stick to itself. And the Elmer's Glue All does not remain tacky at all. It has not stuck to itself at all. Hello, Lynn. How are you, sweetheart? So, like I said, I watered it down, and I know some people call Elmer's Glue watered down. They call it Mod Podge. It's definitely not. It's not anything at all like Mod Podge at all. It is like watered down glue, but it has not stuck to itself once. And I had these folders stacked on top of each other, for a few days. Some of them like for, over a week. I'm good, Lynn. I am good. I'm just like doing brainless stuff here for a little bit so that I can use my brain to think of pocket ideas for my die cut journal. Because you see, this journal is probably going to be the death of me, because I took all this time and glued all these scraps to all of these manila folders, right? I spent countless hours watching TV and gluing scraps to manila folders so that I can then glue these down so that I can rub a little bit of paint on them to give it some kind of texture looking thing so that they look fancy. But now I got to come up with pocket ideas for the actual storage of the die cuts on these puppies. See, the baby powder thing didn't even really work for me at all. I was so mad because I really wanted it to work. I'm going to have to try the wax. I have some tea light candles that burned. I like burned them a long time ago, and then the wick just disappeared out of the candle, so there's no way I can burn them again. So I'm going to try rubbing that on. This is the white wax. It's going to dry clear. I could try beeswax, but because I make lotion and stuff, beeswax is very valuable in my house. And I tend to get the yellow beeswax for that. So unless you could buy, sometimes you could buy the blocks. If I find one of those beeswax blocks, maybe. But I imagine that the paraffin, tea lights that I have would do the same thing. I mean, I had one woman tell me that she buys pillar candles just for the, the white pillar candles that they sell at Walmart for, like, the emergency candle section. And she said that's what she uses because they're cheap. You could buy a 3-pack for a few bucks. So I imagine that the tea lights I have will work just fine. Yeah, I have spray sealers that I use too when I can spray. Spraying here doesn't work well in the weather, and doesn't really work that well when it's too cold either. So, you know, you kind of just have to hope for the best. Kind of just have to wait it out. But I do like Rust-Oleum has a matte sealer, spray sealer that I like. Krylon sealers are okay. They can be a little sticky though. Shannon Green probably thinks I'm like this stalker because I've been paying attention to her talking about the Creativation. She's at Creativation this year. So today, like I posted in her group, I was like, good luck at Creativation. You know, she's probably like, this girl don't even know who I am. She's like stalking me. She knows everything I'm doing. Shannon Green, she's gonna get like a restraining order on me and stuff. I've been watching a lot of her videos lately, and I just cannot believe how alike we are. You know, like she has so many ideas, and I'm like, oh my god, I thought of that too. You know, like so much of her process is exactly how my process is. It's like we're the same person, dude. She does have nice skin. She has nice skin and she has nice hair. Like, you know, I know that she cuts her hair all funky, which I think is great too. But you could tell the hair is very nice. You could tell it is a nice quality hair. My hair, it's like, I used to have such gorgeous hair. I was looking at pictures the other day of the newborn pictures when I had Lily, you know, almost 5 years ago now. And man, my hair was like so gorgeous. Curly, beautiful curls. Now it's like my curls are gone. I think it's because I have my dad's hair. My dad had curly hair when he was a young guy, and then it just got really thick and really dark. And my hair's always been dark, but it's all of a sudden just got really thick. And when I was young, I was like, man, I wish I had nice thick hair. Now I'm like, I don't want thick hair. Yeah, Lynn, like a third of my hair on my head is gray. I use hennas to dye my hair. But I'm thinking about buying some of that Madison Reed hair dye because it's supposed to be like a really good quality hair dye. Because I can't get hair dye in a box. I can't do it. My hair is so dry, which it never was. Like I used to have oily hair. It used to be like oily and curly. Now it's like dry, which I have hard water too, which can affect, you know, the quality of your hair. But even no matter what I do to it, no matter what I use in it, it's dry. It is dry. I have to make myself some kind of like leave-in conditioner because I'm not spending money on those super high-end leave-in conditioners that I've been using my whole life. I just can't justify those costs anymore. You know, like once you become a mom, you kind of like your view on what is worth the money kind of changes. You know, like 10 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, $40 for a leave-in conditioner. That's totally worth it. Now I'm like, $6? Can't spend that kind of money on this crap. Coconut oil, believe it or not, is drying. Coconut oil is really good to use on your face. It's good to use as a cleanser on your face because coconut oil has cleansing properties in the oil. If you have really, really dry hair, olive oil, just a drop of olive oil in honey is really good. The best oil for your hair, the best is avocado oil. That is the best hair oil, and it does not leave your hair oily. I mean, you can't wash your hair in it, but if you did like a, yeah, after over time, yeah, it actually will dry your hair out. It is drying. It's good to use as a face cleanser. It's good to use as a cleanser. Avocado oil is like the best. I make shampoo bars, and in the shampoo bar, it's like 75% avocado oil. and it is so good. Oh, it is so, so good. I did a hair mask one time of an avocado, right? A really ripe avocado that I mashed up with honey and a drop or two of olive oil, just a tiny touch. And it was like, my hair felt so amazing for like a week, you know, but you got to leave it in. You got to leave it in for like 2 hours. You got to leave it in. I do, Lynn. I do. But I don't right now because I don't have room, first of all, to make my soap right now. So all of my stuff is in the trailer, and it takes up like a third of a 53-foot box trailer. So once my shop is built this spring and summer, that's going to be our project. I will be making soap. I will be back on the soapy bandwagon. And I've got some great ideas for some shampoo products, liquid and shampoo bars. And let me just give you a hint. It's going to have avocado oil. Some of them are going to have sweet almond oil, which is also very good for your hair, but some people are allergic to almonds, so only some of them will have sweet almond oil. They will have coconut oil, and they will have beer. Yeah, that's right. Beer. Beer, beer. Real beer. Yeah, the shampoo bars came out. The shampoo bars are amazing. I used those up until I had some that I used up until like maybe like a year ago. So I haven't made soap in a few years because my stuff's been in storage, you know. And I had some shampoo bars left, and I finished them up a year ago, and it's like my hair has not been the same ever since. And when you use a shampoo bar, all you use for a conditioner is apple cider vinegar watered down. You know, I do like 1 part apple cider vinegar to 2 parts water, and that works out just fine. And I know that some people are like, oh, the smell of vinegar, the smell, it's gone. When your hair dries, there's no smell. There's no smell at all of the apple cider vinegar. Trust me, because I hate the smell of apple cider vinegar with a passion. I hate it. But when you put it in your hair, the smell is gone. And if you want to know another thing too that's good for your hair to wash it with, believe it or not, egg. For a long time, I was no poo, so I wasn't using any shampoo or anything at all. And I washed my hair once a week with egg. Yeah, Cheryl, I will once I get my soaps up and going and my lotions, I will definitely be doing a video. Yeah, I mean, you know, the olive oil is like really going far because it's really, olive oil is oily. But yeah, I scramble up 2 eggs to wash my hair with. But, you know, then you realize like, oh, kids, you know, you just don't have time to focus on the natural things for your hair like you should. But egg is super cleansing for your hair. And my hair felt so nice when I used it, but you can't use it all the time. Like you can't wash your hair with egg every single day. It takes, you know, it does start to strip the natural oils out of your hair. I don't know. Do I want to know why, Lynn? Because I think my hair was oily. I'd kill now to have a little bit of oil back in my hair, but not oily like it was because that's just awful. Oh, so in other words, once Lily gets to be of lice age, I'll be sure to get it now that my hair is like sticks. It's like having desert lawn on my head. It is fun, Cheryl. It is a lot of fun. Making soap is a lot of fun. However, making soap is a big expense because if you want to do it really right everything you do it in has to be stainless steel because you're using lye. And lye, essentially, you could, like, lye could burn a body up, for crying out loud. You could, you know, lye is very alkaline. So, oh, what am I doing? You know, it could burn your skin. And so everything you do has to be stainless steel. That must have been, how was that, Lynn? I have never had lice. Never. Everything has to be stainless because lye reacts with iron, lye reacts with plastic, lye definitely reacts with wood. It breaks the wood apart. So if you're stirring with a wooden spoon, then next thing you know, you got little wood shavings in your soap mix, and then you got wood shavings in your soap, which is like really nice, you know, really nice when you're washing up and you get a splinter in your armpit because of your soap, right? Like, that's fun. Yeah, I know. Like, what I know, the lice now, they don't even care about the chemicals anymore. Oh, that must have been so awful. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I had a dog one time that had fleas, and the fleas were in my house, and it made me right out of my mind. Right out of my mind. Having fleas in my house. I couldn't even imagine having them on my head. Oh, I would be like, shave my head. Shave it all off, get rid of the hair. I don't care much about the hair anyway, just shave it off. I will buy pretty scarves to wear on my naked dome. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for coming to hang out tonight. We're talking about fun things like lice and oily hair. Yeah, essential oils. Like, I do know that there are a lot of essential oils that will kill lice, you know, or help to prevent them from coming back, and some of them make them, you know, fertile, because we all love a good fertile lice, right? I mean, what would be the singular to that? Louse. We like a fertile louse, you know? But, like, I know a girl who got rid of lice pretty much with apple cider vinegar mixed with tea tree oil. Soap making is fun. Once I get back into it, I will be making videos because I love to do it. Yeah.
Well, come here.
Yeah, peppermint will kill. Peppermint will kill things. Peppermint will kill things, for real. No, we got a dusting of snow. You know, after the ice, we got about 1/4 of an inch of ice. Yeah, tea tree can be toxic to humans too. You have to use, I mean, with any essential oil, you have to use a carrier oil. I know a girl who was like, she had really bad allergies, and she was putting straight lavender essential oil on her skin under her nose, and then didn't understand a few weeks after doing it why the skin under her nose was like burning and red. I'm like, you cannot do that. You cannot put that straight on your body. You need something. It's got to be mixed with something. They are potent essential oils. Yum. Tar head. Maybe I didn't get it. Now that you mentioned tar, maybe I didn't get it as a kid because my parents smoked. So the secondhand smoke that was living in my scalp was repulsive to the lice. You know, I had a tar head from all that nicotine in the air in my house. You know, maybe that's why I never got it as a kid. That's it. I'm going to have to start smoking again. We got to do it for the lice. But back then, you put your head in that chemical stuff in your scalp, and you put your head in a, shower cap for an hour or two, and then the lights were dead. Yeah, the bed bugs, Cheryl. My mother works in a high-rise building, and they went ahead and turned all their apartments into wood, like that fake hardwood instead of carpet because of the bed bug situation. They were having the exterminators in there every couple of months for bed bugs. It's like a high-rise retirement facility for low-income people who brought their bugs. My brother was living in an apartment in college, and he got bed bugs. And he actually went as far as to take his mattress, which was almost brand new. His mattress was just about brand new. He took his mattress and left it in the alleyway in the city. If anybody knows Massachusetts, he lived in Lowell, Mass. And which is like dump city. It is gross in that city. And he lived in like this crappy area. And he goes ahead and he just leaves his mattress in this dark, dingy alleyway to get rid of the bed bugs. I hope I don't have to deal with lice. I pray that I don't have to deal with lice. I really pray I don't. I follow like the schools on Facebook. So maybe if there was an outbreak, they would post it on Facebook first so I can get an idea. Because, Lily starts school next year. And get an idea of like what we'll be dealing with. Because they post all kinds of updates on there, about what's going on. So I would imagine that lice would be considered an update, right? Like, hey, how was everyone today? By the way, we're sending your kid home with bugs. Have a nice weekend. I like the pink. The pink looks nice. When you add water, though, you really don't need a lot of paint. Yeah, and when we go up north, we stay in hotels, and every single time I am like inspecting for bed bugs. It is like I like could not even handle if we had bed bugs in our house. When my brother had the bed bugs, I just wanted to curl up in a ball and die. And I brought him to the laundromat, so his clothes, all of his clothes and stuff were in my car. So when he got out of my car, I was like, oh my God, I bet you I got bugs in my car. I was like so paranoid about having bugs. Which luckily I didn't. Gross, Jen, gross. Mexican prostitutes. That is like, I would have cried, Bed bugs coming in the outlets. Ugh. Gross. I mean, I have all wood floors in my house, so, I got like area rugs, which I would totally just burn, right? Like you get bed bugs, I would just take my wool rug and my nice area rugs, and I would just burn all of them. But luckily I have all wood floors, so that's where they have to be. The furniture and the rugs, the area rugs. I wouldn't have to worry about them in the carpet. And like, when I had the fleas, they were in my furniture. I had just bought a brand new, nice carpet, nice rug for my living room. they got into the rug. But when you want to get rid of fleas out of your house, what you need to do is salt all of your fabric areas, your upholstery and your rugs, salt. And then every day vacuum and then salt. You know, I mean, you don't have to do it every day. That you should leave it for a few days, the salt, and then vacuum it up, you know, and then salt it again and then vacuum it again. So I did get rid of the fleas that way. The salt did work, thank God. Like bed bugs, they don't go. And roaches, they don't go either. That like is nuclear, you know, they will survive the Holocaust, the nuclear Holocaust. They will survive it. You know? Oh my God. Yeah, that would give me PTSD. That would pretty much be, I'd pretty much have a stroke from that. And that would pretty much be the end of my life. Wow, you're making me really happy that my house like gets some ants once in a while. And we had these weird little centipede things, and once in a while we had a camel cricket. So Cheryl, what I'm gonna do next is I've got to figure out my pocket sizes. Because I got these, right? Not the paper. The paper is for my other projects. I have these color folders that I'm going to use to make my pockets out of. But I have to figure out, right? I got to figure out all my pocket sizes. Oh, you guys want to see my flowers? I'll show you my flowers. I was working on flowers that Dawn got me hooked on making from Let's Make a Mess. And I'm doing these flowers because, you know, my Facebook page, which is going to be my like business, is the Chadwick Rose. So I'm trying to make them like rosy looking. And then I'm going to take these flags, right? I made these little flags out of music paper, and I'm going to put roses on them so that I can make a nice little banner, because I'm doing my first craft fair in April. So I did these earlier to practice making flowers, which I think they're cute. I think they come out cute, you know. It's really easy to really screw them up. It's really easy to make them look stupid. Like this purple one that I did back here looks just like a bunch of bubbles, you know. Like this one here just looks like somebody took a bunch of bubbles and just smushed them together. But these ones here, you know, those are nice. So another tip, save your manuals. I save every single owner's manual for everything I own. And then every once in a while I go through my folder. Yeah, you know, because it's painted up cool, you know. Am I still buffering? Oh, I'm back. I'm back. All right. I do have to get going anyways because it is Lily's bedtime. So you know, it's time for I try and stick to the 9. Yeah, it all of a sudden in here. It said I had no people, and now it just jumped up to 4 people. So YouTube for it. You know, I really think YouTube is screwing up. You know, I'm sorry this was kind of boring tonight. Like I have stuff on my desk right now that I gotta finish. So it's like such a mess, you know? Oh, thanks, Mary Kay. Thanks for coming to hang out for a minute. Yeah, I try and get Lily in bed for 9. So, you know, I get on for 7:30, and then I try and end it by about 9. A lot of people are talking about going live on Wednesday nights now. I did it because nobody was really going live. So long as people show up on Wednesday nights, I'm going to continue doing it. But if, you know, maybe I'll add a night to it, you know, or a morning or something too, you know, depending on my life, because I do have children. You know, they don't really give you a schedule. And the only reason I chose 7:30 on Wednesdays is because I know the baby will go to sleep at 7 o'clock at night, you know, so I know that for a fact. Yeah, I know, Lynn. Everybody is live all the time. Yeah, Mary Kay, and that's what I do too. Like, you know, there was the other day, my internet was acting really screwed up, but if it wasn't, I was gonna go live and just glue in my glue book. You know, next week, like I made this journal cover. So next week, I really want to get started on that journal, the faux leather journal. I put the tutorial underneath this video from last week. So I'm going to make a video for the rest of this book, though. Once I figure out my pocket sizes for all of my die cuts, once I figure out the sizes I need, I'm going to go around and like trace the die cut size out so that I can figure out what I need. Then I'm going to make like gusseted pockets so that I can fit my die cuts in there. Thank you, Lynn. Thanks. You know, luckily I don't have a ton of people showing up to my live streams. So, you know, refereeing isn't always totally necessary, but I did get a troll once. There was a troll one time. So that was necessary. That guy was a troll. That was fun. I had a good time. I had a good time with the troll. But I am going to make a video of the rest of my die cut book, you know. I burned myself yesterday on my toaster oven. Still hurts really bad. Just looks really ugly in the video. So you'll be seeing how I do this so that maybe I can give you ideas to make your own, hopefully not as grueling and painful as my process is. You know, but this has been a lot of fun. I always love coming on live with you girls. This is so much. That's why that's why sometimes I want to just randomly go live so that I can hang out with everybody. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll be a little more sporadic, but I'll definitely still be on every Wednesday at 7:30. You know, you'll be seeing me because I have nothing going on Wednesday nights. So that's it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and I love you all. And I will see you next week. And we'll be working on fun stuff. I promise. Okay? I promise. I love you. Ta-ta for now.